Hello everybody, Gail here, Shabby Cottage Studio. I have another little lunch bag journal to share with you. It's a Christmas theme. I had a lot of my Christmas digital kits that I print. I either print them, I print everything to test it. So I always have plenty of images printed. But I also print them to, when I do a video, to share. I will go ahead and print up a kit. So I had all these Christmas themed papers that I wanted to use some of them. So that's what I used to decorate this kit. Like I had my Christmas past, my latest one, Very Merry Ephemera, and then I had a Christmas journal kit. The Christmas past, that was a tall and skinny journal, but I thought it didn't matter. I can always, it didn't matter what size I had. I can always fussy cut and reshape images to fit my needs for this journal, and so that's what I did, and I used up some of my prints, which made me happy. And then at the end of this video, if you're interested, I had some requests to do a little tutorial on how to put the how I did the lunch bag journal, and I will fumble my way through. I'm not going to decorate it on camera, but I will fumble my way through on how I put the journal itself together. So if you are interested in that, you can either jump ahead to the end of the video or stick around for the flip through and then check out the little how I did it video. I don't even want to call it a tutorial. It's just how I do it. So let's go through this, and then I will have the little how-to clipped onto the end of this video. This is made with 6 lunch bags. It is approximately 5 by 5. It's a nice little chunky monkey, which I like. I like things hanging over the edges and the tops and the bottoms. I like a bit of a messy look. I like a shabby vintage look. That's just my aesthetic, and that's usually how I work. So that's where this little journal is. I've tied the closure. It's removable. I've just used this pretty little red and cream color polka dot sari silk. And I just tied it in this direction just to be different. I don't like to do the same thing all the time, so I decided to do it that way. On the front cover, I just fussy cut this image and this circle. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see there's a glimmer there. On this circle, I took my, I have an embossing pen, and I just painted around the edge of the circle and embossed it with some gold embossing powder. And that's what got the shine. I do have my trusty water bottle right next to me. I covered the front cover with some antique German Bible book page. Before I glued the fussy cut down, I laid a piece of lace in the background. Also, I covered the spine area with some red fabric that I thought looked very festive, and even though it's not a Christmas print, I thought it had a little Christmassy look. Because of the color, and I just thought these little, I'm not even sure what they are, but they made me think of like mistletoe. And then on the back, I covered it with some vintage sheet music. So that's the cover. When you open it, there is a tuck spot made by the gusset of the bag, the excuse me, the bottom of the bag. When it's laid out straight, it folds up, so that becomes a little gusset, and I've just tucked a tag in there, and I added this little pocket, and I put a tag in that pocket, and these tags, they're ready for journaling on the back. And then this was in one of my kits. It's a little teeny tiny envelope. I did not glue it. I did print on both sides. Or did I glue it? No, I think I printed this. No, I'm sorry. I glued a piece of paper to the back of it. And just neutral, so it could be used as an envelope or as a writing space. And tuck that into the pocket. And then here I just clipped another little tag, added a lace little tab at the top. Excuse me. I'm losing my voice again. This is the top of the bag, so I've got a pocket there, and inside I put a large journaling card and just stapled some gold ribbon to the top. Because if you've seen any of my journals, you know I like stapling things. And then on this page, and I forgot, excuse me, let me go back one moment. I have some like a white flocked dotted Swiss netting here, and the reason I put it there was it reminded me of snow, and I liked that. And then I turned around and I did the same thing on this page. Now I guess you could use this as a little tuck spot, but I think something would fall out. But I just liked, again, I thought it looked like snow. It's hard to see on that neutral background. There you can see it there. So again, I can see it better in person than you can on camera. So I just thought it looked like snow. And then in this gusset here, I need to glue that edge down. I put a couple little journaling cards. I backed this with some more of that German Bible page. And just a little vintage ribbon on the edge. Over here, I've just covered it with paper and left it alone so that somebody can do whatever they want with it. And decorate it or add pictures. And then on this page, I did the same. I just left the images. I cut them out, glued them on. Didn't do much to them except right here. I took some of that German Bible page and just put a little piece of paper there. This we have another tuck and another journaling card. Another little piece of that German Bible page. And some more over here. Here we have another top of the bag, so we've got an opportunity for a pocket. I just put together a little booklet of different vintage and antique papers. They could be torn out and used in any fashion, stayed attached and used. I was trying to see what I did. I sewed it on my sewing machine down the middle. I have some gold thread there, and I just stitched it down the middle, and then I laid this polka dot sari silk over it and just tied it on the outside. So this is purely decorative. It's not functional, and I just wanted to give it a little more festive look. And then here is some embossed handmade paper with some silver flakes in it, and I got that from Heather at Rose Hill Paper. And I just love her handmade paper. So, some vintage sheet music with Christmas carols on it. Antique French book paper. So that's what's in this first pocket. And then again, over here, I just left it plain. And here is a writing space. And then I just took some red sari silk and just kind of scrunched it up on the edge to look kind of messy and haphazard. And then here we have another little tuck and a journaling spot. I did use some faux vintage tape on, and again some of the German Bible page. Over here I did create a little pocket or tuck, and this is envelope that's in one of the kits that I had that I used. And again, I left it unglued. I did put a little journaling spot inside if somebody wants to use it. This was printed back to back, so there is some like blue snowflake paper in there, but this could be taken out. This could be used for, you know, writing or glue it together, put pictures in there, whatever someone would like. And I just tucked that into the pocket. And then here we have another bag opening, so another pocket. And I just did a fairly simple collage. Used some embossed paper, some glitter paper, that antique German Bible page, one of the images from one of the kits, and I stapled on some of that gold ribbon for a tab. And tuck that right into the pocket. Excuse me. I left this page alone, and in this tuck I just added a simple tag with a little bit. This is the same fabric that I used on the signature on the cover, and just tuck that inside. And then on this side, I totally forgot to put something in this pocket. I will add something there, so it'll be a surprise for whoever gets this journal, but you see it's a tuck spot. And as is this one. I love that image. And I love that image. I thought they went well together. And the background is just some of my blue snowflake paper from one of the kits. I don't remember which one came from which kit. I had so many papers on my table, it was crazy. We have another bag opening, so we got a pocket, and this is an envelope from one of my kits. And again, I left it open so the new owner can use it however they like. Over here we have these pretty angels and another tuck spot. Here I took, in one of the kits, I have this file folder. I printed this on cardstock, so it's nice and sturdy, and I just slipped it into this little tuck here. And I added a strip of lace on the edge. And then on the back page, I left this blank. I did add, I've got that clipped on there, I did add a lace belly band. And these two recipe cards. Now, I apologize, these are not mine, and I have racked my brain, and I cannot remember where I found these. So I apologize for that. I don't know, and if anybody knows and they want to let me know and correct me, you know, please do. So I just clipped those to the page and stuck those behind the belly band. And then that's the back of the journal. And that's it. Is she sweet? It's just a sweet little Christmas journal. Put some memories in it and have fun with it. There's room for decorating, room for journaling. As usual, all tags and journal cards are removable. Put them wherever you want. Take them out, however you want to do it. So if you're interested in how I structured this little journal with the lunch bags, stick around. And like I said, I will fumble my way through the directions. So for this part of the video, I will say thank you for stopping by. I hope you all are well. We're doing good. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, everybody. You've seen my little lunch bag Christmas journal and how I've decorated it. And now I'm going to show you the basics of how I made the journal base itself. And if you watch the front end of this video, you know that I'm not going to decorate this on camera because I've already decorated it. I used just plain old lunch bags. These were at Walmart. Here is the size if you need it. These were cheap, 100 bags, and it was under $5. I think there were two sizes, and I'm not sure. I think this was the smaller size. But anyway, I showed you the dimensions of it if you're looking for this specific bag. One thing I do want to say, let me move this so we don't get a glare. And I'll just, let me bring a bag in. Okay. One thing I want to say is that these are cheap lunch bags. They are not made perfectly straight. I was told by a friend that in the UK you all don't use these. All you really need is a bag that has a flat bottom. a little gusset, like so, so that they stand up. And I think I've seen these at craft stores. I've not looked for them specifically, so I'm not 100% positive, but I think I've seen them. And probably the ones that you find at a craft store might be a little bit better made than these. But these worked for my purpose. The one thing that I do want to do before I start folding these is I cut a 1/2 inch off of the top end of the bag. And my basic reason was that was twofold. One, I just wanted this to be a certain size, and I decided I wanted it to be square, 5 inches square, and so that's why I had to cut some off the top. But the other reason was I always feel like these paper bags, when they have the divot cut out of them, that it makes them a little less sturdy. So I just wanted to cut that part off. And then all I did, once I had them cut, I folded them in half. And as far as the number of bags, you can choose however many bags you want to use. I chose 6. And I just thought that 6, once I had it stuffed with tags and other little pockets and little goodies, that it was a good size and it felt good in my hands. But you can make it any size you want up to the full dimensions of the bag, of course. Now, I'm going to go off screen and I'm going to cut these the top of these bags down the 1/2 inch. You don't need to see me do that. And then I'm also going to just fold them in half. And I don't think you need to see me do that either. How easy is it to fold a bag in half? So let me do that, and I will come back when it's done. Okay, there we go. The top edge has been trimmed about a 1/2 inch, and then the entire bag was folded in half. Now that I have all the bags folded, you just have to decide the option that, or the configuration that you want the bags to lay in, where you want your gussets to make the little tucks, and whether you even want one. You always have the option of gluing this down and covering it with paper or fabric, whatever you want. Also, these openings at the top of the bag, these are going to be your large pockets, and you just have to determine, do you want all 6 or do you want less than that? And if you don't want all 6, then whichever ones you don't want as a pocket, just glue them together. So let me show you the configuration I chose for my bags, what position I wanted each bag in. And like I said, you have the option of putting your bags in any order that you want. So when I open this is the cover, and the front and back of the journal I decided to be flat, no pockets from the gusset. I might add pockets myself if I chose to, but they're going to start out flat. Then when I open move this over. When I open it, I've got a gusset on this side and a flat on this side. And I've got a flat and a gusset. Then I've got 2 flats, 2 more flats. Then I have a gusset on the left and a flat. This is the center of the bag. They're both flat. And then here I have a gusset on the left and a flat. I have a flat and a gusset on the right. 2 flats and a gusset on the right. And then 2 flats. And that's my journal. So I'll show it to you, them laying out. So that's my first page. That will be my, the back side of this will be the front and back cover. And then I lay this bag down in this direction. Then I lay this bag down in this direction. There's no gusset. This is, it might look like that is, but that's just from the edge of the gusset on the other side. So there's no gusset. Then this one, and there's a gusset. Then I lay down this one. That is a gusset. And then my center page with no gussets at all. So that's how I put the bags together to get the pages that I want. I do a 3-hole binding stitch, and I will show that to you if you've never done one before, because we must remember we always have beginners out there. And all I'm doing is getting my bags folded so that at the seam, or I'm sorry, at the signature here, the corner of the signature, I want them as close together as possible. And then I'm just going to clip. I'm going to do the same side, excuse my fingers, the same side, I'm sorry, the same thing on this side. Let's see. And then on the bottom, I'm again going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull these bags in as close in the corner as I can. I'm going to clip. And stay where I put you. I'm going to clip. Okay, so I've got clips, top and bottom. And then I have some waxed linen thread. And I'm going to, the length that I'm going to use is 3 times the height of my book. So 1, 2, 3, and then I just add a little extra for good measure. I like to use a nice long needle, and it's got a fairly good size eye. And my waxed linen thread goes in easily. Then for the holes, on something this small, I don't get real fancy. I just poke my holes. And what I want are 3 holes. That's why it's called 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I want a hole in the middle, and I want a hole on each end of the middle. And I am just going to eyeball this. If you prefer to measure, you go right ahead. I know that I want a hole right about the middle of all of these signatures, and so I'm going to use my awl to make a hole. If you notice, I've got my bag closed as much as I can to keep, I want to keep the hole in the center of this, excuse me, the center of the pages, bags. Can you see? There we go. Okay. There we go. So you see it's in the center of the edge. Then I just want to come above it, and I'm going to eyeball. With this journal, you don't need to worry about how far down from the top or the bottom that you come, because these pages are all the same height. It's not like a journal where you have some pages down here and some up here and some in the middle, and you have to be careful, you know, that you catch some of those pages. You're going to catch all these pages no matter where you put the holes. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball right about here, and I'm going to close my book as much as I can. Put my awl through it. I'm just going to show you. I want you to be able to see. And again, you see how that comes out in the center. And then there's 1, there's 2. I'm going to come down about the same distance on the bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing. And just to show you again. So you can see 1, 2, and 3 holes. And they're all in the center of this seam. I keep wanting to say seam, so we're just going to call it a seam. Now, for a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, if you want your knot or your bow, or if you're going to put some dangles on it on the outside, you want to start your sewing from the outside. If you want to tie it off on the inside, then you start on the inside. On this one, I'm going to tie it off on the inside. So I'm going to take my needle, and again, I'm going to fold my book down just to keep the passage through that hole as straight as I can. You're going to leave a tail, and I usually clip mine a little bit. And now it doesn't matter if you go through the top hole or the bottom hole second. I just have an inclination to go to the top. So I'm going to, from the outside, I'm going to come in the inside, and I'm caught, where am I? I'm wrapped around this clip. Let's get that done. Here we go. Okay, so there's the first stitch. Then I'm going to bring my needle all the way down to the bottom hole, come to the outside. So in the inside you're going to see like one long stitch. And then on the outside I want to come back through the center hole, and you always want to carefully put your needle through the center hole so that you don't split the thread that you use on the inside. So I usually try and close my book or my journal as much as I can, hopefully to keep the whole path straight. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't. This time worked. And I actually came up on the other side of the center thread, which is what you want. If I had been, let me undo this. If both of these tails had been on one side of this center thread, I would have just moved one of them underneath so that you have a tail on each side. And I'm just going to take my needle off before I stick myself. And I'm going to double check that on the outside. And I'm just holding these to keep them taut. And I just want to make sure that my binding's not too loose out there. And then in the center, I'm going to tie a knot one direction. And then I'm going to do a knot in the other direction. I'm going to take my clips off and figure out, well, okay, this is the front. You might want to leave the long strings and add some dangles to them. You might want to tie it in a bow. I'm just going to clip mine off short. And there is my journal ready to decorate. I do go through and just kind of run my hands down the signature centers and flatten them a little bit. And if you're brand new and you don't know what a signature is, this is a signature. It is papers folded together and meeting in the middle and being bound in the middle like that. And, you know, a regular journal may have multiple signatures. If this was a different journal, this could be one signature of 3 signatures. And 3 signatures would be 3 of these put together in one bound book. Goodness, I hope I explained that well. Tutorials are not my forte, and that's why I hesitate to even call this a That's why I hesitate to call this a tutorial. And this was so easy, I just kind of felt like I was, you know, showing you something that you probably already know, but I was asked, and I aim to please. So I hope that helped. I hope I didn't flub it up too bad. And I hope you go and make yourself a lunch bag journal and see how much fun it is and decorate it up any way you want. Thank you guys for stopping by once again, and you have my heart and you have my gratitude. I hope all of you are well and that life is treating you good, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.